Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute or two. AR, why don't you try talking? They can very clearly not hear you, so let me go ahead and see what's going on here. Try talking. And they 100% cannot hear you. Let's try. Try now. Why can they not hear you? No, I'm saying both at all. 1 second.
This podcast only Mark
Okay,
will be heard.
there. I'm 99% sure they can hear you now. AR, try talking.
Okay. I thought this was going to be a podcast where they can only hear Mark.
Okay, they should be able to hear you now.
I'm not sure they'd notice the difference.
Not my fault you don't talk. Okay, Dev, try talking for a moment.
I feel like I'm in one of those old Verizon commercials.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Yeah, what it is my old monitor exploded and I had to swap out equipment and the new monitor took over some default, so I think OBS decided it was the default speaker.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wakarimashita.
Okay, that should be fine now. Okay. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Since it's been asked in the chat, I should say metaphorically exploded, not like actual. I had a very old monitor.
Picture what they want to picture. It's more fun that way.
I had a very
Death
old
of the
monitor.
Author. Come on, let's go.
I had a very old monitor that worked very well, so I simply refused to ever replace it, despite it being relatively low resolution for the modern age. And I basically used it until it simply refused to turn on. If you check my personal Twitter, you will literally see an image I posted of the monitor where it is just displaying red at me. Like, you can sort of see the picture, and just random pixels are neon red. Like
just decided to go Xbox on you, huh?
Yes, it just like went completely nuts, and then I unplugged, deciding, maybe power thing. I'll plug it back in the next morning. I plug it in, not even getting a power LED or anything. So, time.
It's okay. My car wouldn't start Saturday, so yeah. That was an adventure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, and I'm flipping cold.
I'm DevQ, and I'm also cold.
And I'm coughing in the background with my headset turned off.
Like a cat bringing up a hairball.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's California?
Well, let me put it this way. I have 2 fans in my room, and the ceiling fan I always leave on high just because I like the circuit. My floor fan's on low right now. So.
Meanwhile, here it just got into the positives. It's now above 0.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with 2 fans. I have a cup of delicious ice water. And
yeah, go to hell.
Yeah, I have a short-sleeved Mario T-shirt on. I have no socks or shoes on, and I'm just sitting here enjoying myself.
I liked it better when your state was on fire.
And yet we still did a show.
It's like the sky is red.
No, see, in my case, it was literally on fire outside the window. Like, I was literally posting photos where you could see the flames. Yeah, it has been a week for weather for many people. Hopefully, everyone is staying safe and warm or cold as the situation requires. And at least nothing is falling from the sky, like in Operation Satellite Sniper.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna snow this week, but I think I'm getting what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's raining ice here.
The International Space Station is not gonna fall down on my head like one episode of South Park.
Yes. Yeah, you probably will not just clink. Yeah. And AR's favorite subplot comes to an end.
I hope it's over.
Well, to be fair, it's not like they can carry the station back up and do it again.
Yeah, that's the one thing that got completely glossed over in all this. Everyone's happy that Tokyo was spared, but it's like they destroyed the International Space Station. That's not
fair,
a small deal.
To be fair, weren't they in real life? Aren't they planning to decommission that in the next few years? I believe. Like they're basically done with it.
They extended it to 2030.
Oh, okay.
I did a lot of research about the International Space Station this weekend.
So what you're saying is you had too much time this weekend.
I actually didn't. The wife and I went. We combined Valentine's Day and President's Day traditions by going out on a day date in Madison and furniture shopping.
Get any good furniture?
Yeah, we got a new couch and a coffee table.
Very good.
Ooh, couch.
Yeah.
Is your coffee table a kotatsu?
No, sadly.
In this episode, they brutally leave behind Commando Man. Brutally.
Oh, he seemed sad about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, we get the... I will say one thing before we get into anything. How happy are you that after the initial usage, they did not show the countdown again?
God, yes.
I thought they did.
If they did, it was very minor.
They showed it.
Yeah,
they showed
but
it
it was minor.
Koushiro.
Yeah, they showed it at the very end when it was getting to.
Yeah, that's fine. When they first showed the countdown, I was like, "Oh no, not again!" And then it kind of went away, and I was like, "Oh, that's good." Yeah, this episode's mostly an action rush, which has never generally been our favorites.
No, it is not.
And what's weird is it's not even. It was an action rush episode that was mostly boring, to be honest. Which is really especially strange. Like if it had there's a lot of things to complain about in this episode, but if the action had been good, I don't think we actually would have cared in the overall setup of the episode. It's just that it was kind of boring.
Yeah, it's just they're just going up.
Yes.
And the threats they face don't really feel all that threatening. Like they didn't do a great job selling how dangerous Blade Quagamon and
I didn't see it as
Quagamon are.
I didn't see it as them being dangerous. I saw it simply the delay was dangerous.
Yeah,
I'm not super bothered about that because it felt like the more they were delayed, the more there was an actual issue. So I'm not super worried about
what they were
the
going for. I didn't even buy that they should have been delayed all that much by these guys.
I mean, they could have just gone around the other side, it felt like.
Yeah,
but see that I don't like because that comes up for potentially anything. Like, do you remember, I think AR saw Prometheus. I don't know if you did, Dev.
No, I didn't.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
At one point, a flat spaceship starts to roll after someone, and they're running away from it. Like, imagine being chased by a giant wheel in open space, and you don't run right or left.
I mean, if you want to have it to the Digimon reference, go back to the original series where they're being chased by a cruise ship and nobody thinks to just go to the side.
Yeah, basically that. But
that's what you're looking for. It's not my. It's more for me that like it feels like that.
Oh, it's just boring.
We've seen Metal Greymon and Garudamon tear through stronger enemies than that.
Yeah, I just saw it as that there were so many of them they couldn't just rush past. To be honest, they did the sort of one person must stay behind to deal with this group. and then the other person must stay behind to do it with this group.
I have not figured out what they call that on TV Tropes. I'm convinced that's an article on TV
Oh,
Tropes, but I haven't found it yet.
I'm sure it is. And then, for whatever reason, Angelmon does not show up because it would be slightly less special if she were to show up, even though she should have.
She should have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even, it can fly.
Like even if it was just to float next to Pegasusmon, I would have appreciated having her there, even if she did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it feels like there's not much to talk about this episode because most of it just is that sort of rush and, oh, those Digimon evolved differently because of the light pillar, and I'm sure this will not come up later. And, oh, look, it's Blitzgreymon.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like that it wasn't as big of a deal as it
here's the
could
thing.
have been.
I agree with that, except... So here's the thing. This is technically what people have asked for, which is an evolution to show up, not take time, and to be a variant. But it also kind of amuses me because people were so coming up with random theories for Blitzgreymon, and for it to just be, hey, look, it's just WarGreymon slightly modified from the lightning. I actually kind of liked that it was just sort of a matter of fact rather than a miracle has happened and blah, 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 blah.
Well, they tried to spin it both ways. Like, they tried to treat it like Blade, or like Blitzgreymon was the reason, like that was the difference maker, that it was Blitzgreymon instead of WarGreymon.
Well, no, see, I thought as just more convenient.
Like
WarGreymon probably would have been fine.
WarGreymon would have been just fine too.
But it was more convenient. It was more convenient that it was Blitzgreymon.
Yeah, it still felt kind of arbitrary. Like, this is one of those things that could be remedied if they do it again in the future with different environments.
Yes, but for now, I'm perfectly
I feel like that's kind of what it's setting up.
I'm perfectly happy with the moment for it just being, oh, it's WarGreymon, but slightly different. Because that's theoretically what the character was meant to be. So I kind of like that aspect of it, even if I don't think the episode was very good.
Yeah.
Like, I like that it was just different WarGreymon.
I mean, the other issue I guess I have with it is that they're treating it like it's a good thing that happened. That is not a good thing that happened. Like, their evolution should be somewhat predictable unless it's going to be something stronger. And Blitzgreymon was not stronger than WarGreymon.
It was different.
So if they can't predict the kind of evolutions they're going to get, then I think that's more of a cause for concern than anything else, if they don't know what's actually going to happen when they get to that point.
I'm perfectly
happy. A cast form.
I'm perfectly happy with that for one reason, is because I still love how the Omegamon Ultra S profile just kind of shrugged at the whole thing. And I'm just amused that the show kind of did it that way, even if I didn't like the episode itself. The Ultra S profile is literally, how did he show up? A miracle? The dreams of children? And it completely waved its hand at the idea, and like people are like, oh, Omegamon Ultra S, this new Digimon, it must be like Omegamon but more powerful. And the profile's just like, not really.
Not really.
It's just a slightly different Omegamon. And it even, like, in fact, I just pulled it up, which combines the special qualities of the two, hasn't changed, and its strength is also on par with it. It's a mystery how the two Digimon came to fuse together, and whether this Omegamon is also due to someone's powerful will, or a fusion that exists solely due to some sort of wish is unclear. I kind of like that the actual aspect of it isn't important. It's just the same thing.
Even the actual aspect is, it's like, yeah, like hoping, like we finally have this miracle to have a slightly adjacent version of this Digimon. Not stronger, just different.
Yeah.
That's what the miracle's all about. That's what we're hoping for.
And we get to see Energy Hercules Kabuterimon snipe the ISS. And as much as the episode was kind of trashy, the Koushiro stuff at the end worked. It would have worked better if they had foreshadowed character elements of it more than just the way he sort of acted, and that we sort of guessed most of his personality, I think.
Which is really tragic, because that could have happened at the very start of the episode. The fact that Koushiro waited all this time for Taichi to show up at all does suggest some passivity that they didn't really touch on. Like, Taichi could have gotten there, Koushiro could have explained it, and Taichi could have shrugged and said, you called us all the way over here for that? You could have taken this yourself.
Well,
Like, he
I
still
don't
would have
think.
helped in everything.
See,
He still would have helped in everything, but like that could have at least been touched on to maybe focus in on this idea that Koushiro isn't somebody who's inclined to take point on things,
well, to be
even
fair,
though he's been doing it all series.
to be fair, he only figured it out right then. And the other thing is, I'm not even sure they could have done that with War Greymon. I think you actually did need it to be someone like Metal Greymon. As far as the idea that War Greymon could just blast it through everything, I'm not sure War Greymon could have has that kind of fine control over stuff.
Well, I think Metal Greymon would have been just fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I've seen a lot of people, even in the chat, think, well, War Greymon could have just blasted through everything and then been done with it. I don't think War Greymon could have actually made the shot, is what I mean. I think you needed Metal Greymon or Atler
Yeah, because his
Kabuterimon doing the
attacks are
blast.
like
His attacks
slower
are
and bigger.
gigantic. Yeah, he's not gonna terraforce the ISS.
Yeah.
That would have just destroyed it would just destroy the whole thing and just no issue then.
Yeah.
There is no
or
ISS
might have
to
like
crash.
hit Tokyo too.
Now,
or it would have hit Tokyo too.
Yeah, and I think that's about all we have to say for Operation Satellite Sniper, don't you think?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say about this episode, but read my review. This is one of the worst episodes of the series.
What we need to know is does Commandomon return next episode? I believe the preview was unclear.
What happened to all those other Commandomon that were supposed to be rounding up the rest of the kids?
They're busy.
They're probably in the...
Have you ever seen a dog get distracted?
Squirrel.
I have more faith in Commandomon. He is a better boy than that.
No, the Commandomon we've seen is better than that. The others may not be.
The others are all little shits that just go wherever they want and don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, and then
so basically like my dog.
Yeah, and next time we get Mimi-chan Wars.
I'm looking forward to this.
It's a departure. I'm happy about that.
Well, let's hope it's a departure.
Yeah, let's hope it's a departure.
Because we've fallen into the hole of let's see what happens a few times, and
Oh no, I'm out of that hole.
No, you're not.
This episode's gonna. It's like every episode's gonna be bad unless I hear otherwise. And sometimes it has been. Like the Tailmon episodes were fine, but I have no expectations for this show anymore.
Yeah, and we'll go over the titles of the other ones, but not the actual stuff, since we have guided to episode 38's Burning Blue Friendship. I wonder what shall happen here.
It's a Fushigi mystery.
And then the most important episode, episode 9, Jagamon's Potato Hell.
Sounds like working in food service.
This episode seems to have I'm more excited about this episode than any of the others, just because it sounds so completely random and bonkers.
Yeah,
and the show doesn't do random and bonkers.
Yeah, and that's why anyone complaining about that title or guide data, I don't trust. Because the number of people going, oh, it sounds like filler, it sounds like it's gonna be wacky and stupid. It's like, man, I'd love every episode to be wacky and stupid.
We need wacky and stupid so desperately.
Yeah, and especially since the weird thing, the people most complaining about Jagamon's Potato Hell are the people complaining about the way the show is every week. I would think you'd be happy for it to change.
I guess the one thing I'd say in defense of that is that it's so transparently wacky and bonkers that it almost feels like that they're okay. We've had enough of this. We're going to give you this one obligatory episode just because you've been crying for it so much.
No, they're upset. They're upset that the show's doing it.
With that.
They're upset that the show's even doing an episode potentially like that. Not that it's doing one of them. They don't want it to exist in a show that they claim not to like week to week. It's
that's what I mean.
It's like Dragon Ball fans saying they don't want filler, but every single Dragon Ball fan likes the one where they go to get their driver's license.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's one that sounds. It's in a normal world, this sounds like an awful episode title.
Oh hell
But
no, that's a
like,
great that's a great
I'm
episode title, no
receptive
matter the
to
show.
it. I'm receptive to it because we need to switch it up a bit. But I kind of understand what they're getting at, though.
I'm hungry. I want mashed potatoes.
Don't
And
like
baked
mashed
potatoes.
potatoes. And then
That's
we
sad.
have cards. So let's talk about the most important one first. Pikmin.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but this is just the most. I just love Pikmin with the Chibikmon standing on him. And it's like, are they trying to make the Chibik sword, or are they just dreaming about being the Star Sword someday? And then we got some really nice anime art of Pyokomon, and they've announced what they've done for a few promo cards, which basically is the Chimeramon card and the Kazuna card will just show up at events once they start up again, which not super shocking since
Such a departure between those two cards.
yeah. Yeah, the Kazuna card was out for a while. I don't think the Chimeramon card ever even came out minus the promo giveaway contest they did.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the Chimeramon card before. I know I've seen the Kazuna one before.
Yeah. Then we get Pale Dramon, which not the combination. The
Not Paildramon, Paildramon.
I'm still calling the other one Pale Dramon. Perfectly happy doing that. Then we get the most evil looking Gigimon possible.
I love all the little things in the background.
Yes, I like how we get like the shadowed energy versions of his future evolutions, and how he already looks evil now.
He's embracing his future virus type.
Yes. And then we get Marine
Being
Devimon.
such a little shit.
The Marine Devimon art's really fucking good. Like, even
the
among
water
cards,
effects are just
yeah, like really nice. Then we get. No one ever expects to see Zanbamon.
Always forget about Zambamon, and every time I see him is like, oh yeah, that's cool.
And then we finally get a preview of Defeat, which we knew he was going to show up, and we know he's going to show up in at least one other card, so very nice looking. Then we got Gray Sword and Guru Can, which love the double art, where it combines into one card, just their one piece of art. It's very basic and expected for the character, but I still like it, to be honest.
Has a very two parts of Exodia type feel to it.
And multiple people have asked me if this is supposed to be a reference to how he poses in Try. I feel like he's done that pose before Try.
Yeah, I don't think he's done that before.
That's what I thought, but yeah. Then for England, they're giving away more promo card sets, but they've changed them a bit. They're doing 35,000 this time in the US. We put up the links for all the various other regions, and this time, instead of being in a packet designed after the 0.0 pack in Japan, this one's in like a folder that's designed after the old Digibattle card game pack starter deck.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, like where it has the cards flying out at an angle. It has the
same
the
color,
text, the text in the general format, the background. Very strange that they did that, but they're giving away plenty of these, so sign up and grab it. It goes until February 18th, so you have a few more days left.
I need to remember to do that.
Yeah, and there's also some Dragon Ball cards.
I already signed up.
Yeah, so and the War Greymon playmats. I will say this: they've done not everything has been as easy to get, but they've done a decent job making sure that everything has shown up that has shown up in either country. So the War Greymon playmat will be $34 in August. It includes one Booster Set 5 Battle of Omni booster pack. $30 isn't bad, especially if you're going to import it. I feel bad for people who already prepaid to import it, who now, although stuff here has been scalped so bad, it might be cheaper grabbing it import.
Oof.
Yeah. And then 2 more fun Digicas with viewer sedition battles. The round robins continuing on card battle. And we'll see more of those this week, no doubt. And then Ayumi Miyazaki's doing. It's been a while since one of these. Doing it at the Hightown in Hiwajima. They will also be streaming it, but no details for that yet. I have to say the location actually looks nice. Not sure I'd want to go to a concert right now, but yeah.
Because aren't like cases upticking there
Yes.
again?
Yeah, they haven't said what the seating limit will be. Seats will be given based on order rather than reservation. They are reserving seats rather than actual prepaying, so you pay at the door. So if you change your mind basically, they're trying to make it more convenient. Basically, yeah. Not try to do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like they are doing the photo session, but I believe it said there'd be a plastic sheet in between you and him for safety reasons, which feels like a kind of
it's gonna be a hologram, like a Miku Hatsune concert.
Yeah. Although I will say this, and this is where I shouldn't go to the effort where like I actually look up the venue and find photos of it. It actually looks like a really nice venue for like a smaller, more intimate concert. I like that they've even said, yeah, they're going to put drinks on this. They're going to put mineral water on the seat. It's included with your ticket. It will be put there ahead of time so that, no cross contamination.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to stand in line to buy any.
Yeah. So none of us are going, but I would hope that the streamed version will not be geo-locked, but it will. So they haven't announced it yet, though, so we'll figure that out when it does. Ticket prices are decent. 5,500 yen if you reserve ahead of time, 6,000 at the door. We'll see what pops up there. We can always hope that it will be streamed where it's not geo-locked, but who knows? Hey, Dev, model kits are at Amazon now, so they're easy to pre-order for you. So you've lost the ability to make excuses to not order them.
Yeah, and I don't have to go over to my friend's house who is holding on to some shit for me.
Yeah. So Dukemon and Metal Grumon Black, Amazon will have them both August 1st for $56. And still no news of a Japanese release for Metal Grumon Black. I still think it will pop up as like a premium Bandai exclusive or something like that. But we'll see. And who's excited about video game updates? That kind of aren't updates, but I felt obligated to tell people about them anyways.
I'll take whatever scraps I get at this point.
So a recent Toei IR document, basically, financial disclosures for investors, blah, 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 for their copyright-related business because they have their hands in everything Digimon, even if they don't make it. They're expecting Digimon Survive to be released in fall 2021. Doesn't mean it will. It means based on the information they have, that's when they expect stuff to happen. But we've seen that hasn't quite lined up with Survive a few times. So we'll see. AR,
it'll be a Digimon surprise.
Do you think it will be released fall 2021? I mean, they can't delay. If they delay it again, at that point, isn't it probably dead?
I'm an eternal optimist when it comes to Survive.
I would like to be, but it's not like unless they've redone stuff to a degree they're not telling us. I don't see how it's taking so long. I honestly don't.
I had to revisit some of the character profiles for the that brother sister thing I did last week, and I'm like back on the Survive train. I want this game.
Yeah, and then during a Bandai doing the same thing, but an investor Q&A, it was mentioned a quote-unquote new Digimon title was being currently developed. That could be the
untitled. Working on something.
Yeah, that's the thing. It could be the untitled Digimon story. It could technically be Survive, and they just didn't want to clarify that because they've mentioned Survive many times. So we really don't know what it is. My guess would be a story, but it doesn't functionally matter at the moment. Basically, they're working on games. And then Digimon...
which is more news, which is occasionally we were wondering at points last year.
Yes. Digimon Classroom went over various Digivices. And nice to see, but not really much to talk about, although it's always nice to see the Appler Drive from unrelated, not Digimon series Appmon. Man, isn't it nice that they include this thing that people keep telling us isn't Digimon?
Maybe they just did it out of pity.
Yeah.
It's a thing that exists too.
Yeah. Then we got a V-Jump had a few promo videos of the Vital Bracelet, basically just showing some interface stuff, some of the app stuff. And overall, it feels like most people after watching it have gone, don't know about if it's really clarified anything. So it's nice, but someone who knows Japanese will watch it at some point and tell us. And then we have some new Digimon introductions. We got to see Tempomon, who it's an owl, not a penguin, right?
It still looks like a rockhopper penguin.
No, I'm not arguing that, but I heard people saying that it was actually an owl. I don't know though. It looks like a penguin to me. What do you think, AR? Owl or penguin?
I need to get a better picture of it. Let's see. I cannot find a picture of it. I mean, it looks like a. It looks like a heartless in a hoodie, is what it is.
Oh no, it is something in a costume. But yeah,
I mean, the costume's what we're going off of, so yeah. No, it's neither.
Then we get Pissmon, who appears to be based on that one common rider on a bike. Because I saw multiple photos of that common rider, and it's like, man, this really does look like him.
And we get this guy in the Tour de France. I'd watch it if this guy was enrolled.
Yeah, but the problem is we'll find out he was hopped up at the time. As you always do with people in the Tour de France. Well, it's such a low bar, easy joke to make about the Tour de France. Everyone's on drugs on the Tour de France. Everyone.
Okay. It's okay. They'll find him out when he takes a piss test.
And then we got two silhouettes, and I'm still confused if these are perfects or ultimates, to be honest. Because I thought I got mixed up when I was cleaning up the terms. It looks like I didn't. They go, there's two more perfect Digimon. Then they show silhouettes. And then underneath the silhouette, they go, next time we hope to show you ultimate Digimon. And it's like, technically I don't know. What do you think? Do you think these are perfects or ultimates, these silhouettes?
They're pretty basic looking, so I feel like.
So you feel like perfect
would make sense
design-wise,
but
they are ultimates. I will get back to you on whether that's dub or sub.
Boo. Boo. That's all you get for that. And then for episode art, we got. I don't believe we ever had large resolution art of Blade Kuwagamon, did we? It was just the old 320 by 320, so we finally get something a bit nicer for him. And we get the social media art of Blitzgreymon, and then Kenshi Watanabe. This is where we fall into the hole of not just saying it looked great, because it does almost every week, but man, he put in a lot of detail into the coloring in this one. And even he's like, I think animators are amazing, because
yes, you see that looks better than he looked in the show, though. So
I mean, name any episode of the show that looks like this, of any Digimon show.
No, that's right. I'm just saying that his plaudits are like they don't go through that much work in the show.
Yeah.
And then it's time for questions. And while you guys think of questions, I found something fun.
Oh.
Yeah. So NTT Docomo's anime streaming service, D Anime Store, which is like a subscription anime service, you can make them list things in certain ways, which are interesting. You can have it list by number of times subscribers viewed stuff. And you can also see how registered members have, liked it, marked it, whatever you want to call it. So I went ahead and wrote down some notes. Let's see.
Tell me more.
So here's the thing. It includes all the main Digimon stuff except Tri, Kazuna, and X Evolution. Because Kazuna and Tri are still under various streaming things, and X Evolution, they just decide not to bother. So, would you like to hear about TV or movie by views first?
TV.
Okay.
TV is what we're here for.
What do you think is the top viewed Digimon series on their anime streaming service?
See, this is where I always come back to how recent the what the window is on this data, because if it's more recent, I would say it's the new series.
The data does not clarify as being from a period, so theoretically it's from the service, but it could always be monthly or yearly, but it is not dated data. So take it as you will.
Probably. I feel like original adventure.
Yes, it is.
More than likely.
It is.
Yep. And what do you think?
Good.
What do you think is second?
02.
02.
Ding ding! You are correct. Now, what do you think is the third?
I'm gonna go new series still.
Do they have access to the nearest new series on that streaming service?
It is the new series.
If they have access to
it is the new series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I won't ask about the others because that's where it's no longer interesting. Tamers, Frontier, Cross Wars, Savers, Atmon. Which basically breaks down almost exactly how you'd expect. Now, movie by views, there's nothing that surprising here, minus maybe one, so I won't, play the guessing game. It's War Game.
It's a War Game.
Yeah. Diablomon Strikes Back. The original adventure movie. Hurricane Touchdown. Runaway.
Think Diablomon Strikes Back being above Hurricane Touchdown strikes me as a little interesting. I mean, I'm happy for it. They have.
It's not that interesting.
It's interesting to me in the sense that it's a rare moment where I actually applaud their taste.
Yeah. So after the original,
that's a better movie than Hurricane Touchdown.
Yeah. So after the original adventure movies, Hurricane Touchdown, then Runaway Digimon Express, Battle of the Adventurers, and Revival of the Ancient Digimon.
That all makes sense.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Now this is the last one we'll do. Basically, registered members who have liked it, bookmarked it, whatever term you want to use, where someone has set it as something they want on their list, that they don't have to search for. So, and the symbol's a little heart, just to clarify what they'd be looking at. Ready for the order? It's actually a little bit interesting, especially towards the end. So,
yeah,
I'm not going to give the exact number just because a lot of reading. Adventure has over 42,000. Current Adventure's next with almost 29,000. O2 has a bit over 20,000. War Game, 12,000. Original Adventure Movie, 10,000. Diablomon Strikes Back with a bit over 8,000. Tamers with a bit over 7,000. Hurricane Touchdown, just a hair under 7,000. It's basically neck and neck with Tamers. Battle of the Adventurers drops to about 5,500. Runaway Digimon Express is about 5,000. Revival of the Ancient Digimon is about 4,800. Frontier, 2,400, significantly under its own movie. Which
wait, that's that now. That's the first interesting thing I've heard in all that.
Savers is about 1,900. Cross Wars is about 1,600, and Atmon is just under 1,000. The Frontier was the main interesting one.
It really was.
Yeah, because
I mean, to be fair, I
don't disagree with it. It's
the Frontier movie holds up better than Frontier the series, but that is weird.
I just find it kind of hilarious because it's almost double Frontier. Like it's nearly 4,800.
Maybe people want they want to have the Frontier experience, but they don't actually want to watch Frontier.
And I don't blame them.
That's horribly accurate. Okay, from the chat, Twin Swords wants to know, what do we think is the best Digivice and what makes it look good? So I assume he's talking about the looks, not the actual like toy aspects.
Which is good because I don't know anything about the toy aspect.
I don't know.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting if I like the D3 or the scanner.
So I'm gonna go with a weird one because I'm not 100% sure, but it's the one that I want to talk about. I like the Tri update to the D3 where it has the sort of industrial mechanical look.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Like that's the one where I would say the toy actually completely failed. The CSA visually just does not have that look to it.
Right.
So yeah, that's the one that I think maybe that's an underappreciated one rather than the best, but that's the one I want to talk about.
Yeah, I think for design-wise, I think I tend to lean towards the D-scanner from Frontier. Like it just
that is a nice looking one.
It's the nicest looking one for me, and just, in terms of gripping and functionality. Like I'm imagining myself using a D-scanner. Seems like it'd be more intuitive.
I think the one I like the most is pretty much.
I prefer the ergonomics.
That's fair. It is like a little bit bulkier, but
yeah.
I think I like the merciful Tri Digivice like aesthetically the most, and right after that's the Rookie's CSA D-Arc. Just look nice.
Wait, did you say CSA D-Arc?
I want one of those.
I don't think they haven't done any Tamers D-Arc stuff, have they?
That's why I want one of those.
The shit was it came out.
You mean the design of the 15th anniversary one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was sitting there going, wait. I was like, wait, I definitely missed that if that exists. Okay. Yeah, so that makes
the
sense.
15th one.
Someone said
where they didn't do Lee's at all.
Yeah, that tells you how well it's sold. That it's the only one they just kind of stopped at 2, and then no other Digivice or VPet toy has stopped at 2 so far. They sort of just stopped and moved on, and then did the adventure one some more. Then someone said in one. Go ahead.
Oh, you notice how we're not favoring the rectangles?
I kind of do. I kind of like the Crosswords one, to be honest, but it is very rectangular.
I don't like the rectangles.
Sorry. I don't disagree with you there. And someone sent in a question. They want to know, why does the Mentalist keep coming up?
We haven't brought that up in like a month or so. It's been a while.
So the reason the Mentalist came up with AR was watching it, and it is helpful when we're going with an example to bring up something that the other people know. Because me bringing up Star Trek is mostly a joke rather than purposely bring up Star Trek.
That's sad that that's a common show that we're familiar with.
Well, it was especially good because I remember a lot of questions were coming about, could a show wildly change and blah, stuff like that, where the Mentalist just happened to be a good example because you were getting to that point in the show where I was like, something's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Math Magician wants to know, who do we think will come first? Another War Greymon, Holy Angemon, or Vikemon? Vikemon is my answer to that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we'll get another alternate War Greymon for a while, and I think we need to get back into... I think we need to reintroduce Angemon before we get to Holy Angemon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right that it's Vikemon.
And then
of those three.
Yeah, Josh wants to know, are we getting sick and tired of ticking clock because it's driving him nuts? I mean, it didn't feel like they did the ticking clock literally this episode like they did before.
This was a very subdued ticking clock compared to the other ones. Like this is one that we joke about that there was a ticking clock, but in reality it wasn't that distracting.
Yeah. Matthias wants to know, is it him or does Crosswords have better animation than Current Adventure, or was it more consistent? Not really. People were bitching about that back then. People still bitch about Crosswords animation.
Yeah, it was still all over the place.
Yeah. because the thing is you're not sitting in front of Cross Wars right now, and you're not being as critical to it because we never are for stuff that's Cross Wars is kind of memory at this point.
Cross Wars. Well, Cross Wars was also, it was an upgrade over everything we'd seen so far.
Yeah.
But Cross Wars is also 10 years old now.
Yeah. Basically, yes.
And especially, it had those episodes where it's like they totally blew the budget on the effects and they looked gorgeous, and then there's the ones where it's like, they basically waved around like a single animation cell back and forth.
Cross Wars is also a case where everyone will remember, say, Mervamon, doing a swinging swipe, or X7 Superior Mode appearing for the first time. And we're talking about an episode of Adventure we saw a couple days ago. While there is no Digimon series that looks the fictional pure gold that people want. Almost no show looks like what people remember. I mean, people remember the various
what the movies are for.
Yeah, but even like
even then you have they're not all great.
But it's like, how many people remember the Saturday morning Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon as having great animation? People talk about the animation of that all the time. Go back and watch it. It's okay.
No,
it happens.
No. Yeah. I
mean,
but even then you're comparing. I mean, you might be like you might have great animation compared to the original Sonic cartoon.
Yeah. Here's
the
something
original, the Looney Tunes one.
Yeah. Here's a great example. And I don't know why this has come up recently, where I've heard people go, the original Transformers series had good animation. No, it fucking doesn't.
No.
So here's why I think that happens. People rewatch the movie and forget the show to not look like that. The movie's gorgeous. Like, even today, the movie looks spectacular. The show, I love that show. The show does not look good. Like, it is. I still like. Yeah.
I can't comment on the quality of the show. I was a GoBots kid. I'm sorry.
I think what comes to mind immediately
I like how
is
Dev started
that
laughing
one
when I
opening
said
of
that.
G.I. Joe movie.
The movie. Yes.
Yeah.
That is why G.I. Joe as a franchise basically fails. Is that's all most people remember from G.I. Joe is that intro from the movie.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe was never better than that 2 minutes. And that is all anyone wants from G.I. Joe anymore. Then someone else sent in, they've been thinking about getting some discs since they got a PS5. What are the best movies to see something that'd be better than streaming? This is the kind that I feel like AR and Dev have no input on because it feels like this is tailored to me. So
none whatsoever.
Yeah, I will give you exactly.
No, because I'll just watch complete garbage at like 480p.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I work on stuff that's 480p.
We have a PS4. We will put things in the DVD player because we don't feel like turning the PS4 on. So we will watch DVDs instead of Blu-rays.
Yeah. So I will suggest 2 discs to get if your goal is just, I have a new-ish TV and you want to see something spectacular. If you have a TV with HDR, get Space Adventure Cobra. It's from Discotech, but I didn't work on it because I did not have an HDR TV at the time, and that was neat to test. There is no HDR better than that movie. It is borderline mind-blowing. And if you just want to see something different visually, Gemini Man, the 4K disc, because it is one of only a handful of movies that is actually 60 frames per second properly. Like, not interpolation. It was filmed at 120. The disc is 60. It almost kind of short circuits your brain at how it looks. Not a great movie, but if the idea is you can watch 4K discs now, what's the best thing? Those are the 2 I would recommend. Let's see. Next question. Ian wants to know, do we think the card game will suffer from power creep in the long run? I mean, every card game does. That's why a lot of card games ban older cards, because they try to line them up. Ramon wants to know, what do we think the ancient Digimon fossils from the episodes could be? I think that is one where it 100% does not matter, and I'm not super concerned if we ever hear about that again. It was just they wanted to have fossils there.
I agree. In the event that they do decide to go back to that, I think we're going to see a couple of the ancients that were introduced in Frontier. I think that feels like a chance to have a gratuitous cameo of one of those guys.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and
I'm with you that there's a very good possibility we never hear from that
again.
But
I think it was just they wanted it there for the scenery, and they decided to say something about it.
And stall more time in an episode with a countdown clock.
Yeah. And Balmung had a two-part question. What do we believe is the overarching story goal from the head writer for Adventure? And what are our thoughts of a longtime Pokemon writer like him writing a Digimon series? I think he's writing an action series, and it's an action series that takes you around the digital world, I believe, is the goal. Regardless of any issues we have with that, if that is the goal, they're actually doing a decent job of it. It's just not what any of us want to see, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lack of some sort of overarching theme is really what's missing in this series.
Oh no, it is.
We're halfway through the series. I have no idea what this show is about.
I believe it's showing off the brand,
and that's
So I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's what the goal appears to be, and it appears to be doing the goal well. We're just not happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, and even other series that, show off the brand, like they're about something. Like Adventure is about something. 02 is about something.
I think this is about showing off characters and fights, which is something that sometimes the franchise has gone past quickly. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it is a specific goal, and it does appear to be what the show's doing.
Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about this more in literary terms.
I know. I'm more thinking about just what they're doing, because we heard from I can't remember his name, the director of Try, Motonaga. He wanted to do where the one thing that he was always most interested in doing action with Digimon, and they were only able to do so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but again, Try is very much about something. So it's all good.
As for having a Pokemon writer, does anyone actually care about that? I mean, does it?
No, in fact, now that you mention it, it's like when you think about it, it's like I'd really like to see a Digimon series with the sort of Pokemon style storytelling. I don't know if it would be good, but I think it would be kind of interesting to watch, where they kind of hold up.
That's kind of Hunters.
A little bit, but like Hunters in the digital world.
You basically want what I want, which is Digimon slice of life with a fight or two an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be bothered about it, but it literally
doesn't matter. I don't know if it would be good. Like Hunters clearly wasn't. I think that has to do with the weakness. But Hunters, the failings primarily with the weakness of the protagonist. And the kids that he visits every episode being really hit or miss. Like some of those kids were really entertaining, and some of them were just completely boring.
Yeah, but like looking at shows that he's been the series composer, head writer of, you can understand why they hired him, because Ace Attorney, various Battle Spirits series.
Do you know offhand which Pokemon series? Pokemon series?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Okay, he did the screenplay for the Crystal movie. The script for Coco, which I think just came out. He did episode 1 of the side story stuff. He was the series composer for Diamond and Pearl. He wrote one of the Ranger specials. Okay, he was the series composer for XY, XY and Z, Black and White Rival Destinies, two of the Mega Evolution specials, and he wrote stuff for various other shows.
Okay, I've seen none of those.
Yeah. And it looks like
that was boring. I didn't care.
Yeah, looking at his overall history, and remember, he doesn't write every episode. He isn't necessarily even the one who would have chosen the path the show's taking. I can understand why they wanted him. Like he wrote Samurai 7. I can actually see a lot of that show in here. It just slows down more. But it's like he wrote was 5Ds the one on motorcycles?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's written for Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. He's written for a ton of shows like that. It makes sense why they would want him. I mean, he wrote One Piece Stampede. People love that movie, as I recall. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter he worked with Pokemon, minus that he knows the genre and knows what kids like from it, which is relevant even if we aren't fucking happy about it.
Yeah. See, I could see something like this working for One Piece.
Yeah.
I can see that in a short-term sense at least.
Yeah. Joshua wants to know, would we say Izzy's mom is the MVP of Digimon moms in the series?
No, that belongs to Sayuri from Sabers.
Boo.
Sorry, that's
I kind of have to agree.
Yeah, them's the facts.
I would go with Izzy's mom just because I still like the scene of her popping in the room and everyone goes to the default, oh, we need to hide that Digimon exists, and she's just looking around confused. Where's Tentomon? And everyone's like, oh, I forgot she knows about Digimon.
Yeah, and then you compare that to Sayuri, who had her entire life ruined by her husband getting lost in the digital world, and then suddenly her son brings home an Agumon, and everything goes from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like Sayuri. If she just like makes food, it's like, yeah, might as well just make some eggs.
You want some eggs?
Yeah, and then someone wants to know, ignoring what you want or hope, what do you think the next Precious Gem figure will be?
I don't know. I can't remember all the ones we've had so far.
If we didn't have so many of the Gilmon ones already, I would have said this would have been the year for. Though I guess we didn't get normal. We got Crimson. I don't think we got normal Dukemon, did we?
No, only we got a Figuarts.
Yeah,
and we got the
a normal Dukemon or Dukemon on top of Why can't I remember his name?
Grani.
Yes, Grani. It's a Tamer's anniversary year. If they were planning one, that would have been feels like something that would have been one for this year.
If they're doing do the verses count as a Precious Gem? I forget.
Technically, they said Precious Gem. Let's just assume they mean anything in that line. So Gem, Precious Gem, or verses.
Depending on how well the Omegamon, Diablomon one sells, I feel like they would do Dukemon versus Beelzebumon because Beelzebumon just prints figures.
Yeah, the only thing about that one is trying to get it in the space they need with characters like that feels like it'll be iffy. Because in the case of Omegamon and Diablomon, we had the perfect moment of them right on top of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might be able to fudge that a little bit.
Yeah.
And just sort of.
But yeah,
I don't think people remember that battle shot for shot. They just know it was a good fight.
Yeah. And you know what it should be? Terriermon and Lee.
Oh, Hope Springs Eternal.
Finish off that trio.
I mean, hell, Jury got one.
That was the ultimate.
No, see, that's the thing is Jury didn't really get
that
one.
Was a Leomon.
She did.
Yeah, that was a Leomon.
That was Leomon, but they put her on it because, that's the way I see that one.
Just to really, really one up the Lee fans.
Yeah. And then someone wants to know, shouldn't they be announcing the show that takes the time slot by now for when Digimon is done? I mean, here's the thing.
No.
They've never said it's 66 episodes.
Yeah.
They haven't. I know people think that because of the Toei Europe listing, but to me that says it's ongoing, doesn't mean it will be, but we do not know when the show's ending.
This is the cursed series that will never end.
Yeah, this is the one where AR years from now is just going to be ranting about how long the series lasted and how well it did. Like,
I'm going to be stuck doing a review of episode 200.
Yeah, like here's the thing. 66 episodes would take us to about September, I believe, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Which even then, if it ends in September, like they wouldn't be announcing a replacement yet.
That's
would they?
that's not normally a few months from now. That's not normally when that time slot would swap out, even with even with coronavirus related delays and stuff. You would just extend it to when you would expect it to go. But
which would be October would be more of a.
We've seen almost no evidence that they're planning on winding anything down soon. I mean. No, and I mean, as much as people are saying, "Oh, look how quickly the evolutions are coming," they're not coming that quickly.
No, that was only the perfects.
No, but
ever since then, they've slowed down.
No, that's what I mean. Is especially if you're going to introduce variants or other stuff like that for who knows how many.
We're through episode 36. We're through episode 36, and we've only had one ultimate and an alternate.
And I think they were 37 last time. Was that when they first showed up?
38.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, as much as people are saying they're rushing, it's not actually that far. It's not really that different. I mean, they came earlier.
You add other series to the mix. It's not even.
It's not.
You know, their other series have been even faster rolling out ultimates.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not really gonna answer questions about future Digimon shows that don't exist because that gets into just random guessing. Okay, Math Magician wants to know if they're gonna have a new opening for the show. Do you think they would announce ahead of time or would suddenly appear? They would announce it because.
No, they'll announce it.
Yeah, because here's the thing: you would exactly.
Hype. Yeah.
I would expect at least
that you would sell CDs. You would just go nuts.
And here's the thing:
you gotta get that marketing machine going. Come on.
We don't know when it'll show up, but the very fact that, and it's even been said, why isn't the Ultimate Evolution song getting released? And he literally mentioned on Twitter, don't expect that one for a while. Gee, why would they not at least release a single? Because they're going to release something. Minus the endings, I believe he's done every song for the show, hasn't he?
I haven't been paying that much attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, although we're just a couple episodes away from when we would expect a fourth ending to show up.
Yeah. We are due for a new opening pretty soon.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's going to happen within the next month or so.
So we would roughly expect episode 39 to be the last for the ending. If they do new one with episode 40, that could be a good transition point. I still would have guessed it around 32 or 33-ish.
I was predicting it when we got Tailmon situated.
Yeah. Although she arguably isn't situated. Her thing got finished, but she's still sort of running around. We'll see. It feels like it should be within the next 4 episodes, let's say. Yeah. Of course, we've also said that before, but that's the best guess we can come up with based on no information. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe that's it for questions. AR, I believe you did write up your sibling thingamajig.
I did. Check it out on Tumblr. I put a lot of work into it. 25 sibling relationships ranked from healthiest to train wreck. And yeah, Dev was right on the ball. The one I suggested from Hacker's Memory, the Erika and Ryuji was the biggest train wreck, and the second biggest train wreck was in fact the Saibas from V-Tamer.
Well, don't spoil it for them. You want them to go and read it.
I don't think that's much of a spoiler.
True.
Yeah, like you have to look it up to see where Taichi Hikari ended up. Yeah, because everyone's waiting for that one.
Anything else coming up?
Did you break down the multiple versions of them?
Yes, I split them up. I did. I ranked the reboot and the original separately. Because the reboots are way less interesting than the originals.
Do you have anything else coming up?
No, but I would point out, I'll give a quick plug for one of the conventions I staff. Anime Milwaukee is doing an online con this weekend that is having turns out they have 3 Digimon voice actors who are guests this weekend. So Colleen O'Shaughnessy, Johnny Young Bosch, and Christina V are all making appearances. So check that out if you're interested. I'm sure it's not a localized thing. You don't have to be in Wisconsin to appreciate it. You can tune in if you want to.
Make sure you send me those links, and we'll try to throw people over to them for both. And then, Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read this week? And you're not allowed to say Blitzgreymon.
No, I made sure I didn't. They just go look at the Digimon Excel because it's a fun-looking V-Pet and it has lots of random little cards.
Is that the one that's exactly a rectangle?
Yes, it is.
No, that's. Dev, did you only come up with that when AR was talking about rectangles?
No, I actually just kept hitting the random page toggle on Wikimon until something I cared about came up.
Okay, that's fair. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I think that's the one that's literally like a brick. I can be found.
Which is coincidentally a brick.
I can be found at WtW. We will catch you guys again next week. Do we have anything else to go over? I will take that as a no. I can be found at WtW as always. We will catch you guys next week as we are oddly closing into episode 100, which feels strange. And I think, Dev, you've been around almost like half a year now, haven't you?
I don't know. Time is just completely fucked this year.
Time is a construct. So we will catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Stay warm.